What about the trees? They can't be biased, can they? Look carefully at this tree here. You see it on your screen? Those two tall things there, those are cell phone towers. They're about 30 meters, 150 feet away. And the top of that tree, if you look carefully at it and look at the base, it looks like it's trying to go away, isn't it? Tree's saying, oh, I want to be away from this. And the leaves are not growing well on the top of that tree. Look at that. That's Wi-Fi radiation from a base station tower. A tree that takes, in this case, 10 years to grow, and this is 3G and 4G, not 5G. Okay? Now look more closely. This is another example. There's the tower on the right this time, and look at that tree. Look at that. And it's the same tree. It should be blooming. It's not like one is an evergreen and the other one is not. So look again. Here's one with the antennas on the left, and you see the tree moving away. And here's one with the antenna on the right, and the tree again, thinnest there. And I want to invite you, as part of our citizen science project, to go around and look. You will see examples of this. Please send them to me. Document the longitude and the latitude of the tree. You can do that because we have GPS information. And estimate how long this tower has been there. We're putting together a study with colleagues in Switzerland and Germany on exactly this question. And we invite you to share with us. Make the pictures as fine as you can, because we have a matrix for evaluating the density of these trees. Now, the trees aren't biased. What about the bugs? This is an earlier study that was done, published in a Nature report. And it was the first study ever to model the body of the honeybee. And there you see the honeybee. And they showed at 2 gigahertz, 24, and 120. 24 gigahertz is about the level where 5G has been permitted to operate. And what you see here is that the power gets into the honeybee about above 6 gigahertz. And you can get a tripling of the amount of absorbed power just because the frequency is so fast and so small, if you will. They predicted that this could have an effect on insect behavior. These same scientists, who, by the way, are from France and Switzerland, among other places, and have worked for their governments, have done a more recent study that I'm going to show you in a moment. But first, check out this report, again, from India.
New research from scientists at Punjab University in India claims microwave radiation from mobile phones could be part of the problem. Researchers fitted mobile phones to a hive and powered them up for 2 15-minute periods each day. After 3 months, they found the bees stopped producing honey, egg production by the queen bee halved, and the size of the hive dramatically reduced. I spoke to an independent scientist in the UK about how the bees might have been affected. He pointed out that bees have a pigment called cryptochrome.
Animals, including insects, use cryptochrome for navigation. They use it to sense the direction of the Earth's magnetic field. And its ability to do this is compromised by the radiation from mobile phones and their base stations. So basically, bees do not find their way back to the hive.
And that has been shown. This is a new study done by the same group of investigators that I mentioned before, from France, Belgium, and Switzerland. They've looked at beehives in Belgium, where they were actually located. You see here on the map. And they studied the amount of power absorbed within the animals. And you see here, whether you're a scientist or not, this is a log scale. It's a little bit confusing. But the amount of power absorbed into the worker bees, the drones, the larvae, and the queen. And the queen is that highest line, because of course the queen is largest, right? With the increase in frequency, shown at the bottom as it goes from 10 to the 1 to 10 to 2, you have the peak of exposure taking place right at the lowest part of the frequency, but it's very high exposure into these animals. This is a picture of the models. I think this is fascinating work, and so I'm going to show it to you very briefly, but they've actually made a computer model of honeybees, the workers, the drones, the larva, and the queen. And of course, the larva is, of course, the child, if you will, the egg, right? So the two highest exposures for the honeybee occur to the baby and the mom. Think about that. What are the bees trying to tell us? This is a critical time of exposure. The queen bee, of course, is responsible to make all the others. And you can see that the highest exposures come into these animals. If you look here, this is the relative electric field strength. And again, the darkest occurs at the highest frequency, 60 gigahertz gets the highest exposure. But some of the lower ones get high exposure too. And this is showing just the drone. That's one of the workers, okay?